You will want to fasten the board somewhere. A vise like this is pretty nice way of doing it. And you also want a second soldering iron. I'm just using this Soviet one. I think it's going to be alright. Okay, so your next task is getting an X-Acto blade under this one, and you're going to want to advance it as it goes. Basically, you use the blade as a lever, and you hit the joints up one by one, and slowly but surely it's going to become angled, and eventually you're going to be able to desolder it fully by also levering it here in some fashion. You'll figure it out, I believe in you. So yeah, eventually you'll be able to insert a knife here, and either way you use it as a lever, and you touch on every single point of the five one by one. By the way, I also added some fresh solder. You could probably use a solder sucker to remove solder from some of these points. By the way, you have to lever harder than I'm doing right now. I had to have my third hand amputated, so I cannot hold the phone at the same time anymore. And yeah, solder sucker just tend to suck in a bad way, so I don't usually use them, but you totally could try. Yeah, you lever it until you have it angled enough that you can at least remove one side of it. And also, yeah, the PCB is going to bend a little bit in the process, but that's the sign of progress. And this is what you're going to eventually get if you're persistent enough and patient enough. So the PCB is a bit bent, that's alright. And then you will have to lever this side with a screwdriver or something and heat up these points primarily, and then also every now and then these two. And pretty soon you're going to have them desoldered, and then you can just clean the holes. This is almost done. So some aspects to keep in mind. Of course, imagine that I'm pulling this barreljack down right now with the screwdriver. In fact, for the last minute I've been holding it like that and heating up these 3 points, and also sometimes these two ones. And the first thing to remember is that pay more attention to the ground holes because they have higher thermal mass, and the solder is going to take longer to it's going to harden quicker than on the positive connection, so spend more time heating these up. And also try not to put solder on the ground post, it's probably not going to like it. And yeah, just keep applying downwards pressure and reheating the points, and eventually it's going to come out one by one. Oh, and also a bit late to talk about that, but future you is going to be grateful if you don't accidentally put some solder on these pads, because without flux it might be a bit hard to clean up these. So yeah, take care. Oh yeah, during the final steps I wouldn't blame you if you started heating it up from here. In fact, that's probably the best option you can do during the final steps.